and we will get ourselves started. So hello, everybody. This is November 19th, and this is our second run through on the Zero to Hero series of calls, teaching you how to become experts at online/virtual parties. So this is call number 3, and my dog is participating, obviously. Super glad to have you guys here. So our topic here as we wrap up this series for our time tonight is all about recruiting, but it's recruiting in a way that is super organic and very, very natural. And I'm going to take what we learned last week and the week before, and we're going to kind of build on it. So in order to get us started, my questions for you gals is, have you implemented any of the things, the top topics that we taught you over the last couple of weeks? Do you have any specific questions? We're just going to take a minute. If you have questions on how you are implementing our host coaching guide or the Bible or doing your online parties, now is a good time to ask them, so that will kind of give us an ability to recap. And again, this is Shelley Week, Northern California, and I've got Eve, Mary Lou, and Sylvia on the line. I know Mary Lou is in the car driving. Be safe, Mary Lou, okay? So does anybody have any specific questions about, you tried to implement some of what we covered in the last couple of weeks and you ran into challenges or success? Who's got parties going on right now?
I don't.
Online
parties. I've got a couple of parties going well, I guess this week I don't have any, but I have some starting. So it's kind of they're starting on Friday, the 22nd.
Starting on the 22nd. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many of them?
I've got a 2. I'm doing a block party with the 2 so far. I'm trying to get a third one in there, but
okay. Very good. Very good.
Right now.
And that's awesome. Was it you I was talking to about that? Because I've been doing mine in blocks as well. And if you always kind of look at the dates and the holiday is coming up, normally you'd be, the one starting on November 22nd, you'd be closing it on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. Were we talking about that where you are planning to close it on Tuesday? I'm trying to remember who that was. It wasn't yours, right, Eve?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay. So you've got 2 choices with that. You can kind of truncate it, and I think it was 90. And make it go a little shorter, you've done before Thanksgiving hits, or you can plan to just roll it longer and tell them, like, we get a couple bonus days and work in some holiday things. So
I'm planning to actually close it on Friday, the 29th. Okay. So one day after Thanksgiving. So because at least one of them, actually probably both of them, are visiting with family over Thanksgiving, and so on Thanksgiving then they're going to be talking to family and things, so then we'll close it Friday.
Very good. Excellent. So yeah, take those catalogs along, and actually, so an online party, I always offer my hosts an online host packet, but
yeah, so it's online, but they've got catalogs too to share.
Always, ask them, right? Especially if they're going to be traveling, and go and take that Pamper Chef catalog with you, because that can be a very wonderful shopping time of folks around the kitchen and everything cooking. Okay, very good. So 2 hosts, maybe 3 coming up, and then how about for you, Sylvia? I know you had a couple in progress.
Yeah, I'm doing an online, just hosting it myself. So I'm not doing the block party. I have a couple of orders that will be coming in. I know one is going to be coming in after tomorrow. She already told me, her payday. And I did pass out catalogs last week, so I'm expecting them to come through. And I did send information to them via the inbox or whatever messenger that I will be closing it this week on Thursday the 21st, because I don't want to hold it open like, for the next week, and it takes the other people so long to get their products. So I'll just do them every week until I get home to my computer.
Yeah, I know you've got some technology challenges going on, but great. So, you know, knowing that you're, and for all of you guys, we kind of get to the holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday, our Black Friday and our Cyber Monday, and you do want to be identifying Fridays in December for Friday start dates, and going back and doing some customer service to folks who already ordered, folks who hosted, you know, maybe last season or even last year. We've got, you know, a lot of parties that have, you know, been long closed. And go back and check with those folks and tell them that you're doing online holiday themed parties. And you've got the 6th, the 13th, the 20th as start dates, right, for December?
Right.
Yeah, great. And load those up, the more the merrier. And then as you're looking forward into January too, over book for January. Your host, January is a month where you do get a lot of cancellations, so you want to overbook it, like to a ridiculous extent, knowing that the weather changes, the bills from Christmas come in, cold and flu start hitting, people kind of get the post-holiday blog, all that stuff interferes with your January hosts, but those ones that hold are usually stellar. The January parties are biggest of the year, but for every 4 that I book, 1 actually holds. So I'm just going to do a little plug for that, and you'll start thinking about that over the next several weeks, but you want to start thinking about that now. You've built all this momentum, and you want it to stream right through into 2020 for you, okay? All right. So, any specific questions about what we covered last night? Are you guys using the, or last week, are you guys using the host hosting guide? That's the host hosting guide. I see you nodding. I hear Sylvia. Mary's muted. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at that. And actually, when I took this online course with on my notes here, when I took this online course initially with Sherry Carr and Nancy Francis, the Zero to Hero, they finished it up. So call number 3, they had a guest speaker. And I have a recording of her talking to us and doing the training that particular night. And her name is Becca Yon. And her system, which she pulled and derived from Stephen Joseph's online system, was so impressive and so much more easy to implement than Stephen's even was, that we implemented it that very week. And my goal was to play that recording for you for tonight, to let you just hear how she accomplishes. At that point, it was October 16th, and by that point, she had recruited 56 people that year so far, up till October 16th. And she had this very well-oiled system in place, and I want to have you hear it from the horse's mouth. So I have the YouTube link to that recording in that training, and I want to strongly recommend that you guys, you actually listen to it. What I found is that I can't play the YouTube through Zoom, so I can't get it to play. So I'm going to kind of cover what she covered for purposes of our call tonight, but at the end, I'm going to give you the actual recording so you can listen to Becca directly. Sound okay?
Yes.
Okay, so let's truck on. Great. So by the time we talked with Becca in October, she'd been with Pampered Chef for 2 years, and she had just promoted to executive director. So again, we've got consultant, senior consultant, team leader, director. Brittany just promoted to director. My level, which is advanced director. Next level is senior director, and the next level is executive director. So that's the level she had just promoted to, and she did it while she was pregnant. So Eve may remember at National Conference when we were in team time with Sherry Carr, the nice young lady who was wildly pregnant, and her husband was there running up and down, up to the front of the room to collect her recognition and rewards for being the top seller, the top recruiter, the top this, the top that. That was Becca, and that was her husband, and she was about to hot. And in fact, she has since had the baby. That was what, end of July, and we heard from her as a brand new first-time mom in October that she had a newborn, and she accomplished this all with, being pregnant. And 56 recruits that year. Super, super hugely stunning business. She was averaging 24 parties a month, online parties. And if they were, if she was doing live parties, there's no possible way she could have done that. She had, to that point in October, sold over $142,000. Okay. Wow. Yeah. She was averaging over $14,000 a month in sales. She's averaging about six new teammates, personal teammates, every single month. And to that point, her team was recruiting. She had promoted 21 directors. It was outrageous. So she had gone to Sherry Carr's director retreat in the fall of 2018. I will put a plug in, no matter where you are in the country. If you can get yourself into somebody's director retreat, do that. And it's very much worth it. And she was super, 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 super shy. She really just didn't want to offend anybody. She was super timid. She went to a party that Ellington Boyce held, and heard her talk about all the fast track bonuses. And basically, this was 2 years ago before she signed up. She just needed a new couch. That's why she got started with Sanford Chef. And she actually highly recommends listening to this particular training call. It's called Recruiting from the Heart. It made a huge impact on her. Really, I mean, they told all kinds of amazing stories, but one of them was about a mom who literally couldn't put food on the table for her kids. And she went to a party, and the consultant called her the very next day. And it just goes to show, I mean, she signed up and it changed their life. And if you think that what you do with Sanford Chef doesn't have the ability to change your life, to change others, you're sorely mistaken. This is huge application and can make an astronomical difference for so many people. Her story, Becca's story, that is, she was a school teacher. She was commuting 45 minutes each way into the inner city of Oklahoma. She worked in child welfare, and she was in her first year as a fifth grade teacher. She went to Ellington's show and heard Ellington say that she makes $7,000 a month, and was very intrigued. Really, her goal was just to earn $300 a month. She wanted to be able to get a pedicure or buy herself a blouse, and they were trying to pay off student loans. Maybe a little bit of fun money. That was her goal. She did 3 parties her very first month and earned $450. In her second month, she promoted to director, and her paycheck that month was $1,500. And it just took off from there. Her biggest paycheck to date was just shy of $13,000. And they got all the school loans. They bought a new car. She now stays home with this newborn little boy, and she's just basically figuring it out. And she credits her entire, the entire astronomical momentum and growth with recruiting. And it's basically, you kind of just have to get over yourself. It's not about you. It's about what you have to offer for other folks. So if you're shy like her and not wanting to bug anybody, you really just need to get over yourself, because it is, in fact, one of the things that you need to do as part of your job as caring. And the golden rule, basically, if you want to move up to earning $12,000 a month, if you are recruiting nobody, and once you if you're a director, you'll lose your directorship. If you're recruiting 1 a month, that's kind of just basic consistency. But if you're recruiting 2 or more a month, you'll grow steadily. It's just kind of like real steady and easy growth. But if we're talking 3 to 5 a month, that's where you experience really explosive growth. And for every 10 people that you recruit, you can pretty much count on having 1 person become a director. And if you have really good systems in place, then you can really just kind of, work it. I talked with Becca. She spends 3 hours a day on her business. She's an executive director. Super busy stay-at-home mom. Now she retired from being a teacher at the end of that first year, and but 3 hours a day. That's it. Now that's a big day. 3 hours for her. And she's doing 6 to 10 virtual parties every single week now. So 2 topics then is how to recruit your hosts from online parties and how to recruit your guests. And everything that I'm going to share with you is in one of the 2 documents that from Becca that I've already shared with you. One is the host coaching guide / Bible, and the other is the what we call the booking and recruiting conversation. Raise your hand if you've got both of those, you have them and you've seen them at the very least. Yes? Okay, do I need to show you those on my screen? Hello, Bundy.
I'm not familiar. I'm not sure I remember which one you said, the booking and recruiting conversation.
Yeah, the booking and recruiting conversation. So I'm going to share my screen, and I have 2 things open right now. I'm going to go into Evernote, and I'm going to show you. So here's what.
Oh, wait, I think I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to find like really good names for these things. Right now, I'm just calling it's customer host booking and recruiting conversation. And this is the route, the pathway, the system that you apply in every situation where you're doing an online party. And this is how you work through building relationships with folks at the beginning of your party and result in a booking or a recruit at the end of your party. Okay? And does this look familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. So last week we talked about how to start a conversation. You play a guessing game at your party on Friday or Saturday, one of the 2 pre-party days, and you tell them to send you a message with their answer. Does this sound familiar?
Yes.
Yep, here's an example. How many treats are in the deluxe cooking blender? Okay, you put that in the party, and remember when you're adding, this is a daily game, but it's a guessing game, and in this particular one, you're telling the instructions are, send me your answer. So you're getting them to message you. Part of the risk with Facebook fail is you messaging folks who you're not friends with, which is typically everybody in a brand new online party. You have your host who is invited in excess of 300 people. They are not friends with you yet. And your goal is to relationship build with them, and this is one of the methods for doing it. So you're asking them to message you with their guess of how many little candies are in the blender, or how many 50 crackers are in the batter dispenser. I've got tons of guessing games, so if you need some, let me know. It's not about the game. The game is a mechanism to get them to message you. So, and as we're just recapping from last week, what we talked about was that relationship building, the secret sauce. They message you with an answer, and you say to them, and you just copy and paste. Thanks for playing. The correct answer was, in the case of that blender, it's 66 candies. Okay, and then you say, I'm excited you're joining the party. How do you know our host? And are you a pampered pro or are you new to it? Super generic messages, right? These are just starting a block party with 2 to 3 hosts. You don't even know at this point which host they're attached to. But you ask this generic question, and guess what? They just tell you their whole life story. Like, oh my gosh, we went to school together, and are you a pampered pro or are you new to it? So they answer, and you say, oh, cool, nice to meet you. What are some of your favorite products if they're a pro? Or what does cooking look like for you if they're new to it? And what keeps you busy in your area? And they continue to tell you their life story. I use this every single week. People will just completely tell you all kinds of details about them. And basically, at the beginning of the party where you're doing the pre-party, you're not selling, you're not recruiting, you're relationship building. You just kind of wrap it up and say, hey, that's wonderful. I'm eager to hear how you like the party. Okay? And so now you've got some conversations started with some of those folks. In the meantime, you pick a winner for the prize, the game, and you proceed along. You've got your post my party posting, and then you start days. The first full party day is Sunday, and then Monday, and so forth. So moving on to where the recruiting comes in. Right about Monday or Tuesday now, you play what's called a paycheck game. And that might be where if you guys have seen it, we call it a guess the paycheck. So here's, I'll show you an example. Basically, guess the commission check. If you're using my Post My Party template, you'll find 3 rounds of guess the commission check. And you kind of tell a little story about a particular consultant. Round 1 is about a new consultant, brand new, does 3 parties, guess what her commission check is. Round 2 is somebody who's a little bit more established, and round 3 is somebody who's moving up within Pampered Chef. But here's, let's see this. Make it very big. There's a copy of the paycheck for someone just starting out. Here's a copy of the paycheck for someone who's a little bit more established. Can you see that? $2,200. And here's a copy of a paycheck for somebody in, maybe in Becca's situation, senior director, executive director. This is $10,019 for a 1-month paycheck. Okay. If you need checks and you need examples of a guessing game for a guess the commission, let me know and I can send you those. But they are in fact in the template that we're using. Okay. So back to our theme, you play a paycheck game, guess how much this person earns and send me your guess. Okay, when they send you, so now you're just getting, some of the people that you initially talked to may actually send you their guesses, or it may very well be even new folks from the party, but the number of people you're interacting with behind the scenes in one-on-one private messages is increasing. Okay, and so here we have your answer. They send you like, oh, maybe it's $400, and you go, all you do is copy and paste it. Great, yes. Tell me what you think, and you tell them what that paycheck amount was. And when they respond, usually they'll respond with like, oh wow, that's more than I thought, or da da da. And you say, thank you so much. It's been a big blessing for me and my family. Now this might be the furthest thing from your mind, but I'm just curious because it sounds like you love Pampered Chef. Have you ever thought about doing something like this on the side for a little extra income? Okay, you make sure to answer every person who responds and get at least this far. Don't leave anybody out. This is a system. This takes the emotion out of it. This is just copying and pasting. Okay, and they when they respond, if you get any sort of positive response, here's how you carry on the conversation. So maybe they say, I haven't really, what's involved, or no, I've never really thought of it before. But if they answer you at all, you can say, yeah, there's lots of amazing things with it. What would interest you about trying something like it? The free product, the extra income, or the flexibility? So how about you guys? If somebody, think back to before you started. If somebody asked you, if you were kind of just like, oh yeah, that's interesting, and someone asked you, what would interest you more? The free product, the extra income, or the flexibility? What would your answer be? Anyone? Started. What was intriguing?
All 3.
What's that?
I said all 3.
Oh, 3. I love it. Very good. Very good. So think about that. That actually pretty much covers anything. Becca's background is in psychology. She went to college and graduated in psychology. She developed these questions. And honestly, it's brilliant the way this works, because when you ask them this question, and it's all very gentle. I'm not hitting anybody over the head with it. It said, if you were interested, what would you be most interested in? The free products, extra income, or the flexibility? And then just wait and wait for their reply. And they're going to tell you one of those three things or all three. And I've gotten all of those answers since I've started using this. So here's your response. Oh yeah, the free products are amazing, for example. Okay. And this line is quite brilliant. You can get a free upgrade to your cookware and your cutlery when you're new. That is in fact the case, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cheers for Mary Lou, who already just earned her first piece of free cookware, and her 30th day was just a couple days ago. So then you say you can get a free upgrade to your cookware and your cutlery when you're new, and then you ask another question. You always finish with a question, and you don't have to make this up. All you have to do is have this on one side of your screen and have oh my gosh, I lost it. And have Facebook open on the other side of your screen, and you're copying and pasting. And I actually just recommend that you go into this one time in the morning and one time in the evening, and you do all of these answers at once. Okay, I lost my notes. Where is it? My computer is saying. So I've got too many things open. Okay, so we're at this point where it says, what was the free product? Okay, then you ask her, okay, so how much money would you like to make a month if you could? And about how much time could you put into it per day or week? And they will, in fact, answer you. Okay, or at any point they may say, oh no, I'm not interested, which is no problem, that's fine. But as they proceed, you're actually walking them through thinking about this very, very detailed. And typically you get an answer. You ask, how much money would you like to make if you could, and about how much time could you put into it per day or per week? And Becca's put together based on actual numbers that she's assembled from her entire huge organization now, that this is your reply, and this is actual numbers. If you were doing one party a week, it would take you about 15 to 20 minutes every day. Therefore, you'd be doing 4 parties in a month, and on average, you'd earn 23% commission. And if you had a $600 average party, that would result in $500 per month. Okay? If they could invest 30 minutes a day, they could actually do about 2 parties a week. So that's 8 a month. Now we're at 25% commission for a $600 average. So that's about $1,200 a month paycheck. Take it to the next step. They said they could invest 1 to 5 hours a day. Then that would be about what you needed if you were doing 4 parties a week. That's 16 a month, 25% commission, 600 average. They'd be making about $2,400 a month. So based on how they answer you, when you ask, how much money would you like to make? How much time? You send them the appropriate example, 1, 2, or 4 parties per week, and this commission chart. And where do we get that? It's available everywhere on Pampered Chef. If you go to pamperedchef.com, click on Join Us, you can see the commission test. It's right there, and I can send this to you. And you say to them, so when they tell you how much they'd like to earn, you tell them that they could earn about X amount each month by spending about X amount hours or minutes per day on it. So here's an example. You say, awesome. So you could earn over $1,000 a month just for working about 30 minutes a day. Is that something you could see yourself doing? So again, she always finishes with a question to keep the conversation going. And then based on their answer, if they say yeah or sure, you send them a picture of the kit and say, great, yes, it's a great payout. I made X in my first month when I did X parties. So these are the kits you can pick to join. It's crazy all the stuff that comes in them. Which one would you get if you could? Okay, if you send them a picture of all 3 kits, they're going to tell you which one they got their eye on. And you say, yeah, that's a good one. I love the blah, blah, blah that comes in that kit, the quick cooker or the rock sauce. So what questions would you have about trying this out? Answer any questions they have, and once you feel you've answered them all, you just send them your link to your website. And if you go onto your personal website and click on Join Us or Be a Consultant, that's this link right here. And you send them this. It's the place that somebody would actually order their kit on your website. Right, this one right here, it's got my name in the link. You just take mine out, put yours in, send them that link. It says, and the message says, it sounds like we've talked through this pretty well. I'd love to help you give it a try and earn that income you mentioned you like. Here's my link with more info. Do you feel like you're ready to give it a try? If yes, fabulous. Have them order their kit and sign them up to do a launch party the very next Friday. What do you guys think?
It's great.
Does that sound doable?
Yes.
Pretty cut and dry, right? It's really black and white, isn't it?
Yeah. So is this the revised, I guess what you guys call the Bible?
So,
Is this the same thing?
so this is kind of a supplement piece to the Bible. So this one is called Customer Host Booking and Recruiting Conversations. Okay, and I'm going to show you the
Okay.
Bible. Got the Bible open. So this one is the online party guide for super virtual parties, the VP Bible, again from Becca Young. Okay, that's the title right there.
Okay.
And some of those pieces are in here. Okay, it actually
I don't think I have this.
this is the one we talked about it, Shelley. This is the one I told you to print.
Yeah, I did, but I don't see it was. I got it printed, so I'll look again.
Okay, no worries. Honestly, these post-coaching guides, there's a version from Stephen Joseph, and this one, like I said, is simpler. But it walks you through exactly every single step to do for a party, starting with today is Tuesday of any week where you're going to start your online parties on a Friday. Your steps start today. If you look, this is what Becca has written. This is literally everything I do for my virtual parties. None of these steps is optional. It's a combination of doing all of them consistently that leads to parties with regular sales, high interaction, bookings, and recruits.
Okay.
So 1 week before the party, you say, hey, how are you doing? Just wanted to confirm I've got your party scheduled to kick off next week. Does that still work for you? When they say yes, you go, great, I'll send you a message on Friday with some tips. This right here is that first step. When you look at a good party and a bad party. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Ask that step. That sets the bar. You ask them to fill out the host VIP survey, right? Does that sound familiar?
Uh-huh.
Sounds familiar. Next is first day Tuesday. Here we are on Tuesday. You make the group. You set up your business page on Facebook. You make the Facebook group for the party from your business page. Here's instructions in down. Here's the description. It should look familiar. Here is the schedule of what to expect. Friday, Saturday, 2 party days. Sunday, what's new. Monday and Tuesday right now is Thanksgiving. That will change to Christmas. Wednesday's favorites. Thursday, the party closes. And you do your wrap up. You send your message to this host that helps encourage her to invite 300 people. Okay? And so all these instructions, there's what to do on Wednesday. Here's what you do on Thursday, the last day before the party. Okay? So that is the Bible, and it has every single step. There's even a step that we talked about last time that you do here on Tuesday before the party ends on the full party day 3 Tuesday. You change the name of the group to 2 days left. There's where you play your paycheck game. Okay. There's the good guess. Here's the answer. Tell me what you think. When they respond, say thanks. It's been awesome. Have you ever thought about doing something like PC for extra income? So she did pull some of the conversations from this note right here into the Bible. Okay? If you're not sure how to do their response, screenshot their reply and send it to the person who recruited you for help. But this is the conversation. Okay. And then we talked about this last week, time to get bookings. You go through all the members in the party and you send rock star messages for people who've commented more than twice. And you send wish list message to folks who've answered your question that said, what would you, if you could get anything in the catalog, what would you want? Okay, that's where your bookings come in. Okay. Okay, so far?
Uh-huh.
If you follow this, and again, the first week you do it, it's a little loosey-goosey, you're trying to get it down. The second week, it gets a little more smooth. The third week, you're starting to get smart about it, and you're putting these messages into your phone as text replacements, or you're just doing copying and pasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're keeping the pictures in your phone so they're accessible. You start to set up the games and what games you're gonna send out each day. And it's a learning curve, but after you've done this for a couple of weeks, it starts to go like, oh, okay, I get it. As we got started, we talked about, though, recruiting your host, and we talked about recruiting, for a second. We talked about recruiting guests, but we also talked about recruiting your host. So one of the things, if I'm looking for my notes here. Okay, so if you look through this guide, this host hosting guide that we're using, what you'll find is that your host is always your best recruit. She's always your best recruit. In fact, historically, Pampered Chef polls on this all the time. Half of our hosts across the entire company sign up to be consultants. Okay, that's pretty universal. And so there's a mechanism in here for what we call recruiting seeds, and they're messages that you send to your host during this whole process of her party. And I'm going to share my screen again and show you the Bible, and I'm going to show you where they are.
Okay.
All right. So up at the top, this is our Bible, our host coaching guide, and our Bible. And I'm going to use the search function. I'm going to do Control F and just search for the word. She calls them recruiting seeds. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
So I'm going to search for recruiting seeds. So here is the first one, and it's on the Thursday, the day before the party starts on a Friday. That would be, so Eve's block parties that she's doing this week start on the 22nd. Are the steps that you would do on Thursday. So this is the message to the host, having her instructions on keep continuing to invite. You ask her to keep track of who's ordering, and the hosts send the thank yous to people who've ordered. But look at this, later that day, send them a recruiting seed. This is on Thursday before the party starts. And it says, hey, one more thing for today. You might not have booked the party thinking about this, but if you'd like to spend $99 or pick one of these kits today before your show starts, I'll let you make the money on the show instead of me. You'll still get all the host awards too. On average, you'll make $100+ on a party. Let me know if you're interested or have questions today. And we pretty much know what the host answer is going to be in this case. They always say no the first time you offer the opportunity. Isn't that right?
Yes.
That's why when you're using your every 4, let's do one more tracker, that's why there are 5 spots for offering the opportunity to your host 5 times. This outline right here has got 4 of them. And again, it's interesting. And what happens if they do actually say, yes, I'd like this to be my party? What do you do? You jump up and down and celebrate. What do you do?
You send them to you have them go to the pamperedchef.com, be a consultant, and just sign up there.
Exactly. And then you send them right into Consultants Corner and you have them set up this party so that their link is the one that's getting the order, right?
Right.
And you just proceed along. Follow the same outline. Okay. But most people, the first time you ask them, they say no. So you check them off on the list. I asked them one time. Let's look at the next one. The next one is on pre-party day 2, Saturday. This actually is set up so that you're putting a recruiting seed to the host once every 2 days. So here's the one for Saturday, pre-party day 2. Send this to your host in a personal message. It's a recruiting seed. Wow, your party's rocking. LOL, looks like your friends love you and Pampered Chef. You're going to have an amazing party. Have you given any more thought to trying this yourself? Looks like you'd have a good support system. Does that sound pushy? Pretty reasonable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easy peasy. The first time I used this, my host hadn't even answered when I sent her the message on Thursday. When I sent her this on Saturday, she said, dang it, I'm regretting not doing it. Her party closed at $1,100, and that could have been her $1,100. And she did, in fact, sign up, and she is, in fact, doing online parties. Gave her the chance, right? Let's look at the next one. Here it is this is on Tuesday, full party day 3. Here's your recruiting seed. Hey girls, just want to let you know when your party hits $300 or $400 in sales, you can use 25 or 50 of your free product as a coupon off of one of these kits. Also, any bookings you get from your party will be yours if you want to try it. Haha, it's not signing your life away, just trying something new. Hashtag something to think about. Super gentle. Just send that, check it off. Last one is on the last day to order on Thursday. Hey, last day of the party, would seriously love to have you on my team. You're so fun and have done a wonderful job hosting, interacting this week. I have no doubt you would rock this side gig. Want to give it a whirl. Now, if they say no, no harm, no foul. You did your job. In fact, I had a gal who closed her party at $700 a couple weeks ago. When I asked her the first time, she said really firmly, she said, no, I have my own side business and I'm perfectly fine. And when I asked her the second time, she goes, Shelley, I told you no. So I messaged and I said, I appreciate that. I hear what you're saying. I'm just doing my job, which part of your rewards, part of your host rewards is a chance to give us a try for with a discount. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, good deal, no problem. So you can certainly adjust this, but the whole idea is that it's all laid out here for you and step by step. Okay, any questions about that?
No.
Can you see yourself doing this? No? Does it look like it's like really smooth and non-threatening, right? Yeah. Okay. So once you kind of do have someone who says, yeah, let's talk about this. If they are asking questions that you don't have answers for, then what do? You just call up your director, shoot a note to your director and say, got somebody who said yes, and I don't know what to do. It's my first person. And we either pop into Zoom like this, or I'll have you set up a three-way message in Facebook and introduce me. Say, hey, my friend Shelley helped me when I got started, and I just want to make sure that I give you the right information. I'm very brand new myself, so she's going to answer your questions, and I just take it from there. Okay, we get them onto their intro call. How many of you guys did an intro call with me or your director? Where we lay out, here's how you get your first booking, here's the message you send, do 30 of these every single day, and you'll fill your calendar. That's, honest to goodness, that's exactly what Becca does. We walk them through the fast track rewards. We give them methods for keeping track of the people that you made contact with and doing follow-up, because you need to follow up and connect with folks more than once when you offer them a chance to get on your calendar. And all of our systems are in place for doing that, right? Including these zero-to-hero calls that walk you through really deeply into here's how these virtual parties and online parties can work, and how you can do, with a goal of setting up at least 4 of them every single week, which is where we started this program, right? 4 a week. Why 4 a week? Do you remember? Here's a little quiz for you. For every 4 you do, what results are you going to get? Pretty much. One's gonna flop. For every 4, one's gonna flop. One's gonna pop and do awesome, and 2 are gonna be kind of average. So when you get that first yes, if they're not already doing a party right that minute, which suddenly becomes their launch party, if they're not already doing one of those parties, you set them up for the very next Friday. Let's get your launch party started, and we're launching them, so you're helping them do that first party and starting to learn the system with the goal of having 4 the very next week, and you get them into one of their get them into an intro call with me, so with your director, so that we can walk them through the process. Okay, and once Eve has got folks on her team and is bringing them in, she will do that intro call. And when Sylvia's got folks, she will do that intro call. And we start seeing the kind of growth that we're seeing right now. We have 70 people on our team right this minute. I started using this outline a month ago. Just a month ago. And it's astronomical. So I hope that is helpful. Let's everybody unmute. You're going to have a chance to tell us, that's Bonnie Jean's little guy, you're a future pampered chef, aren't you? Look at him. Okay, so everybody unmute, and I want to hear if you have any questions. If you have any questions, have you had your tonsils out, sir? They're still in there. I'm going to turn off her video for a minute because it's distracting. Bonnie Jean, I want to know who that was. So you have a chance to ask any questions, and then also to share some, like, oh my gosh, wow, any particularly helpful piece that you learned during our call tonight, or during the entire 3-call Zero to Hero program. So I want to hear from you, and I'm taking copious notes. Who wants to go first? Any questions while you're thinking about what your ahas were?
I'll start first.
Sure, Sylvia, go.
Okay. And tonight, still learning. I do like, well, that portion that you showed of like the Bible tonight with the chart, the commission chart, and everything else, because that was like one of the questions. Well, how much do you make, or is it blah blah? And at that time, if it was just a set across the board. But now I see that it depends on, what your party size or amount, dollar amount, is differentiates like that. I mean, what to say, and copying and pasting the replies. It is really easy. Like I said, on this phone, I can't copy and paste anything. So I've been going down to the library and doing some stuff on there. So I would like to have the guessing games that I can put on my party. I just started it on, what's today? Tuesday? I just kind of set it up Friday, and I only have about 6 people. That the first time I did, I mean, I had like 54 members that, and they were playing the games, interacting, and everything. So this time I'm doing it on my own. I don't have any, and they're not, I don't have any games, or it's kind of boring.
Well,
So
we
needs
talked
some.
about that. I'm going to remind you that we talked about using your online party from the first time you did it, where you do have 50 plus people who already put going, and using that group to do your Thanksgiving online party, because there's already a set number of folks.
Right. I don't know how to find them. I don't know how to get back to them because I tried to go on that link and it says that it's expired. So I don't know how to get to that group.
Right. So there's 2 different links. One is a link to the party, which is the place where people would order, and that is
Right.
date sensitive. That's created in Consultant's Corner. The other link is the group in Facebook, which is the one we're talking about. That group
Right.
in Facebook where you hosted your party initially with 50 plus people already going. That group you want to transition. Okay, this is a step that you guys will all do as you move from, say, most of the time folks who are consultant before they are, host either of a launch party or of their own party just as a host before they become a consultant. You want to use that original party Facebook group and turn it into your brand new VIP group on Facebook. Your friends are already
Right.
You ran your first party in it. And
Right.
if you want to, I'm going to share my screen for just a second. I actually tried really hard to take my own advice. And I did this in my VIP group. I'm going to show it to you.
Okay.
So this is Shelley VIP. So this is my group on Facebook where my customers who are VIPs, they're very important customers. This is where they hang out to get the hottest news from me as their pampered chef. Right now we have 137 people here. And I am using this to do a Thanksgiving online party. And I didn't ask them anything. I just said, hey guys, I'm doing an online party starting on, this happened to be on the 15th. So on Friday.
Okay.
And it was I had 115 members when I started. It's 137 right now. And this is what I recommend that you do, that you hold your own party. And what I'm getting at with you, Sylvia, is you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to make a brand new group. I want you to use one that you used for a previous party.
Okay. So that's where we messed up because Ellen, we made another whole group. Instead, I didn't know how to. That's where we.
Yeah, it's making more work for you guys than necessary.
Yeah. So I need to just know how to go back and get.
Oh, right. So you take and change. Right now it probably says Sylvia's, I don't know, summer online party. Have Ellen make you admin of it, and you link your business page, and you change the name. So now it says Sylvia's VIP Pampered Chef Band.
Okay.
Or something like that. And I changed my name to say Thanksgiving Recipe and Tips Online Party with Shelley. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's just one just simple thing. And look at the interaction. Are you having fun? Gift your favorite side dish. And here they go.
I think I invited you to this new one, so I'll invite you again, so you can just see, because we made a whole new thing.
Okay.
A party.
I get it. So if you get stuck, you and Ellen and I have a little chat Facebook message then go in and you can ask and I can help.
Okay.
Okay. We all learn together. That's great.
Yeah.
So thank you. How about for you, Miss Eve? What was your aha or any questions? Is this helpful for your parties that are starting this week?
Yeah, and I think for me was that conversation, booking and recruiting conversations note that those conversations, those were things that I have to go back and find where I have that saved in Evernote. So
we have a Zero to Hero Facebook message group, and I will post those right in that so that you guys, and I'll tag you guys so that you have them at your fingertips. But and it's worth. I mean, there's a lot of pages and tabs, and there's a lot of stuff. So if you are a visual learner, shoot those to a printer. Just bite the bullet. I think the Bible takes 11 pages. The conversations is maybe 2 pages. That's it. Ready? And there was one piece that I missed deciding on that. I'm going to share my screen one more time and go back to the conversation. So this is actually that last piece. So say you go through this whole recruiting conversation with somebody, and let's say they say no. You say no. You say, no problem. On the other hand, what do you think about having a little online party next month? Hosting super easy. Takes less than 5 minutes a day for you, and the average host gets 100 free and 3 half-price items. And our current host will get credit. What do you think? So you offer them a party, right? And then you keep track of them, and you give them a temperature tag, okay? You add them to your temperature list like this below for tracking and continuing the conversation. And I know this chart is super small, but what it says is there's cold, warm, and hot. So if that was somebody who, I'm looking for my cold, warm, and hot description. Where is it? No, I had it all listed out. If they were cold, they were basically like, they didn't really reply, but they didn't necessarily tell you like, no, but they sort of just faded away. Then they're cold, and you send them the special at the beginning of each month. Fabulous. If they're a warm, they said no during the conversation, but they're warm. If they respond every once in a while, you send them the special at the beginning of the month, and you send them a copy of your paycheck at the your last month's paycheck around the middle of the month. And if they're hot, they were super responsive, but they did say no. You send them the special at the beginning of each month. You send them a testimonial video link. Those are right on our website, guys. There's testimonial videos, and all you have to do is click it and send them the link. You send them a copy of your paycheck middle of the month, and at the end of the month, you send them another video. So this little part I got, but oh my gosh, can you imagine if your list of cold, warm, and hot people, and you kept in touch with them like this? You will absolutely. I mean, maybe they weren't ready in November, but in January they are. You will definitely recruit people and help them get started, because sometimes folks are not ready in that moment when you first meet them. They may go through the whole conversation, and if you were to follow up every month, that's critical. People oftentimes don't follow up, but this system with cold, warm, and hot will make a huge difference. And you just start building those lists. Okay? Is that helpful?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good. How about Miss Bonnie Bean? Do you have any oh my gosh wows from tonight or any questions? You're on mute. Okay. I cannot hear Bonnie Bean right this minute, but this is all, so Eve, if she has any feedback, please let us know. I mean, I'm connected on Facebook with you guys. I want to congratulate each and every one of you, and for those of you who are watching the recording, you have successfully graduated from 0 to 0, and I am going to send you a kind of a survey about this class. I want you to encourage your Pampered Chef sisters and brothers to jump on the chance to take this class again. I do have it set up for the first 3 weeks of December, and if your schedule is just super not going to work with it, you can certainly register and sign up and talk one-on-one with me about getting the recordings, and then I will work with you as you watch the recordings from the previous classes. But this program has been super beneficial. We've got folks who took it the very first month in October who are selling $2,000 and $3,000 every single month now, and just cranking right along. So very, very proud of you guys. Give yourselves a great big round of applause. Excellent. If you have any more questions, let me know. I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks for joining us.